everyone. Welcome to Gospel Music USA, your home on the television for great Southern gospel music. My name is Danny Jones. I'm with Singing News Magazine.
I'm Mike LeFevre with the LeFevre Quartet, and we want to welcome you today, but let's just go ahead and say this right now. We are missing one person here, and
if she were here, she would be standing right there.
She's not gone. She's not left the show or anything like that. She's just out on, we'll call it special assignment this week, okay?
Right. In other words, she got lost on the way to the studio.
And she will be back.
She will be back. All right, hey, today we are proud to present a true legacy from the world of gospel music. If you love quartet singing and that very traditional style, you will absolutely love our guests. They've been around for almost 60 years. They call Pensacola home. Would you make welcome the Dixie Echoes?
And we'll understand it better by and by. Trials dark on every hand, and we cannot understand all the ways that God would lead us to that blessed promised land. But He guides us with His eye, and we'll follow till we die. We will understand it better by and by. Well, by and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathering home, we'll tell the story how we'll overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. Now we are often destitute of the things that life demands, a want of food and a want of shelter, thirsty hills and barren lands. But we're trusting in the Lord, and according to His word, we will understand it better by and by. Well, by and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathering home, we'll tell the story how we'll overcome, and we'll understand it better by and by. Well, by and by, when the morning comes, when the saints of God are gathering home, we'll tell the story how we'll overcome, and we'll understand it better. We will understand it better. We will understand it better by and by.
That kind of keeps it going there. I don't think I can catch my breath for another round of that one. So I'm gonna feature one of the favorite parts in the quartet. We'll feature the bass. Everybody seems to love they love the bass and the tenor. So we're gonna feature a little bit of both of them probably.
Dig a well when you're losing the fight. Dig a well, dig it deep and wide. Dig a well until you find
those everlasting waters that will
never run dry.
If you're walking through a valley, and your soul it feels so dry, dig a well of a living water that will get you to the other side.
Dig a well when you're losing the fight.
Dig a well,
dig it deep and wide.
Dig a
well until you find
those everlasting waters that will
never run dry.
From a worldly well and you find it can't satisfy, let me tell you about a river that flows within that will never, never, never run dry. Dig
a well when you're losing the fight.
Dig a well,
dig it deep and wide.
Dig a
well until you find
those everlasting waters that will
never run dry. Well, dig a well. Dig a well,
right, that's a good way to get warmed up and get the voices moving a little bit. I'll tell you what, I'm going to grab my guitar, and we're going to do a little spiritual for you. It's one that you've probably heard other groups sing it, but you may not have heard them sing it exactly like this right here. I've always loved this old song. It says, "Get away, Jordan."
See my Lord, get away, oh Chili Joe, get away, oh Chili Joe, get away back, get back, Jordan. I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
I remember the day, I remember it well.
I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
My soul was hanging on the edge of hell.
I wanna cross over to see my Lord,
saying, get away,
oh Chili Joe,
get away,
oh Chili Joe, get away back. Get back, Jordan, I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
Get away,
oh Chili Joe,
get away,
oh Chili Joe, get away back. Get back, Jordan, I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
When my feet get cold, my eyes are shut, my hands lay folded across my breast. I don't have to worry about the way I'll fare. God Almighty done told me He'd be right there to lift me up on the wings of love, carry my soul to heaven above, saying,
Get away, oh Chili Joe,
get away,
oh Chili Joe, get away back. Get back, Jordan, I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
get away,
oh Chili Joe,
get away,
oh Chili Joe, get away back. Get back, Jordan, I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
I said to get back.
Get back, Jordan.
Get away back.
Get back, oh Chili Jordan.
Get away back, yeah.
Get back, Jordan. I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
I said to get back.
Get back, Jordan.
Get away
Get back, oh Chili Jordan.
Get away back, yeah.
Get back, Jordan. I wanna cross over to see my Lord. Well, get away. Get away. Get away back, oh, get back, Jordan. I wanna cross over to see my Lord.
Welcome back to Gospel Music USA. Our guest today, the legendary Dixie Echoes. And
Yes.
Mike, you talk about a group that has truly been a cornerstone for Southern gospel music. It has to be the Dixie Echoes.
Well, no doubt.
And Randy Shelnut has been a vital part of that for a long time.
50 years now.
50 years. And
That I've been traveling with the quartet.
that's right. And of course, many folks remember your father, the late Dale Shelnut. He was such a vital part of that. Now we've got the third generation of Shelnuts in there. Randy Jr. is over there. And tell us about the two other guys who make up the Dixie Echoes.
Well, fine fellows, we got a Stephen Adair singing the tenor part. Does just about as good a job on the tenor as I've ever heard in my life. And we've got a young fella, 23 years old, singing the bass part. And his voice is going to change soon, and so he'll really be doing great then.
Wow.
But his Jordan Wilson.
And
Wow.
you know, Mike, when you think about the history of the Dixie Echoes, this is a group that can say they've sang in nearly all of the 50 states, 49, I believe. The only state missing is Hawaii. So if you would like to have the Dixie Echoes sing in Hawaii, they would love for you.
Yeah,
they would love to
As
talk
soon
to
as
you.
they build a bridge to go to Hawaii.
No
Okay.
flying.
Okay, well, we will be able to say that the Dixie Echoes, when they finally retire, they sang in 49 states, okay? Now, there's 51 states this week, isn't there?
Danny,
50?
it's whatever you say, buddy. We're going
Look,
with
I'm over 50 now, so anything I say is automatically suspect. All right, hey, but here, seriously, this group is one of the few groups that can say they've sang in Carnegie Hall.
Yeah.
One of the few groups that have sang in the vast majority of the country. They have appeared on all of the major events in gospel music. There is not one that they have missed. And when it comes to being a legend in gospel music, this is it. This is right here.
What else can you say, guys?
Exactly.
I mean,
Well,
where do you go from there, right?
Sums it up right
Yeah.
there.
And you know, you think about it too, Mike. 60 years, that's continuous 6 decades of singing. They've never taken a break. You know, there's never been a year or two gap where there's not been a Dixie Echoes on the road. 60 years. Only 2 or 3 other groups can claim that.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, you know, the neat thing is, too, and there's several of these out now, father-son combinations. You know, I have the privilege of traveling with my son.
Yes.
So we were on the show the other day, and the question was posed, how do you feel and how do you like having your son traveling with you?
Well, it's one of the greatest blessings I could have ever hoped for. I kind of knew what the relationship was because me and my dad traveled for over 15 years together. And it's a bond that, well, I guess it can go either way. I've seen it go either way. But my dad and I were very, very close, and I feel like my son and I are the same, and we just get along. We don't have problems, and it's been a blessing to be able to travel and to sing and to share the experiences of traveling on the road for over 200 days a year.
Oh, yeah.
Together.
And for you, I'm going to call you Scoop. That's what everybody knows you as.
That's how everybody
If that's
knows.
okay.
Yeah.
You know, in turn, I feel the same way about traveling with my son. But, you know, your dad is in the Hall of Fame in gospel music, and it's got to be rewarding for you to be able to travel with him. And I'm sure you feasted off of his knowledge.
Sure, yeah, especially lately because he's taken jazz theory and all this stuff, and that's our harmony comes from some of that.
Which is incredible.
Yeah, and so learning that also from him lately, even of course he taught me how to play bass at an early age and a little bit of everything. So, but yeah, he's a wealth of knowledge that people don't realize. And
Well, he says I taught him. I actually showed him where it was at and told him to go play it.
Go play it. If you want a job, play and sing.
It's all in how you phrase it.
That's kind of the way my dad worked with me about 49 years
All
ago.
right, throwing you in the pool, right? That's incredible.
All right, Stephen, you're relatively young, but you have a deep love and appreciation for classic Southern gospel music. What captured your attention about the Dixie Echoes?
Well, I'd say the word authentic. I love the authenticness. Is that even a word? Authenticity.
Oh,
yes.
good job. I'm proud of you.
my new word.
Good job. Good job.
I like that sound, and because there's something special about it that is just unmistakable, and it's very hard to duplicate, and it's just one of my favorite things.
Right. And of course, you're originally from an area that is nowhere close to Florida. Is that right?
Huntington, Indiana.
Yep. That, like I said, it's not very close to Florida at all.
And it's another encouraging thing is to see young people coming in. Jordan? Yes. What inspired you? What brought your attention to Southern gospel? You say, hey, this is what I want to do.
Well, from a very young age, I started listening to gospel music. My father would play gospel music throughout the house every day, almost. I loved artists like the Cathedrals and the LeFevres. I love even getting to have this conversation with you. This is fantastic. And just being able to sing with this group is just a blessing, and I always wanted to do this since a very young age.
Well, you're doing it well, and you're doing it with an incredible group. The harmony is just, and you hit the nail on the head. Y'all have got something that I don't know of another group in gospel music that can do what y'all do, because the harmony is just, and I'm a harmony nut. I love the harmony. So,
And there's probably no better person or a person who's more qualified to answer the question that I'm about to ask Randy. All right, Randy, you've been in this a long time. You've seen all the fads that have come along in gospel music. Where do you see gospel music, say, 10, 15 years from now?
Well, that's, I feel like that our music, quartet style especially, is a timeless type of music. And I really feel like the messages in the songs are very powerful. So I don't feel like it's going anywhere. The trends come and the trends go. But I've heard the great late Glenn Payne say, that good songs and good singing will never fade away.
Right.
And I really believe that. I feel like we have a I thank God for shows like this that expose it to more people than we can ever do live on stage. And I'm so glad that we can reach new audiences. I feel like that 10 years from now, through media like this, that we would be reaching a whole different audience than we have now.
Right. And you know what? The Dixie Echoes will still be a part of that because there is a lot of talent on that sofa.
That's right.
Who wants to carry this on. Folks, don't go anywhere. We're going to have more with the Dixie Echoes in just a few moments. You are watching Gospel Music USA. Welcome back to Gospel Music USA. Our guest today is a group that has traveled border to border and coast to coast. They're celebrating almost 60 years of singing Southern gospel music. Make welcome one more time, the Dixie Echoes.
I'm not on an ego trip. I'm nothing on my own. I've made mistakes that often slip, just common flesh and bone. But I'll prove one day just why I say that I'm of a special kind. When he was on the cross, I was on his mind. The look of love was on his face. Thorns were on his head. The blood was on his scarlet robe, and it stained it crimson red. Though his eyes were on the crowd that day, he looked ahead in time. For when he was on the cross, I was on his mind. He knew me, yet he loved me. He whose glory makes the heavens shine. I'm so unworthy of such mercy. Yet when he was on the cross, I was on his mind. Yes, when he was on the cross, I was on his mind.
Amen. What a beautiful song and what a beautiful message. Our buddies, the Florida Boys, introduced that song to gospel music many years ago, and when they retired, I felt like that song and the message that it contained needed to needed to carry on. And I don't think anyone's ever done a finer job than that young man right there. We'll just turn him loose a little bit more on a song here. Features both the bass and the tenor. Everybody ought to like it because they're the favorites. I hope that you'll like Roll On, Jordan.
There's a river rolling deep and wide. Paradise is on the other side. When this old life is over,
There a little bit.
forever I'll abide.
So roll on the mighty old river to that sweet forever laddie. Your wings are roll gently, guard your shores until they someday we must cross your foes.
Roll on, Jordan, roll on, oh river deep and wide. My home is on the other side. When I reach
Each river gonna pray the Lord to carry me home.
roll on, Jordan,
The old last old river that I gotta span, reaching my mansion in the promised land.
roll on, Jordan.
So roll on the mighty old river to that sweet forever laddie. Your wings are roll gently, guard your shores until they someday we must cross your foes.
Roll on, Jordan, roll on, oh river deep and wide. My home is on the other side. When I reach
Each river gonna pray the Lord to carry me home.
roll on, Jordan,
The old last old river that I gotta span, reaching my mansion in the promised land.
roll on,
We're so honored to have y'all on the program today. I know you folks have enjoyed them. We want to say thank you for watching Gospel Music USA, and we want to invite you back next week to do the same thing. You can find us on Facebook, Gospel Music USA, hit like, and you can find these guys on Facebook, Twitter.
Facebook, DixieEchoes.com, wherever you
All
look
that good
for
stuff.
us.
So make sure you find them. But we do have time for another song, so we want you to stay tuned. And Randy, grab your guitar. And what we're going to do, we're going to hear another great song by the Dixie Echoes. Thank you for joining us, and God bless you.